Welcome back to another episode of Philly Sports Now. Get you ready for the Eagles-Vikings matchup on Sunday afternoon at 1 p.m. against the Minnesota Vikings. The game is on Fox. I mean, listen, the Eagles had the mini bye after that blowout loss to the New York Giants. Almost feels like a little bit you can pinpoint it in two different ways. Is it like the 23 collapse, or is it like the 24 week where they fixed everything? You get the mini bye. Obviously, in 24, you had the real bye after getting blown out to the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. And everyone was saying could it be spinning in the spiraling in the wrong direction. Similar situation here. You know, you get blown out to a bad Giants team on Thursday Night Football, and how do the Eagles recover? And you have this long layoff, 10 days between the next game, and you have a chance here to prove the next step. And I think we'll see what happens. Obviously, you have a full week of hearing about it and hearing, Nick Sirianni talk about the adjustments they've made and having the faith in Nick, having faith in the offensive play calling um, from Patullo. And I think a lot of different things here will go into this game. On top of that, you obviously have a very good defense you're facing, a defense that keeps this Minnesota team in a lot of their games, and a Vikings team that, they're coming off their bye week. Obviously, it was a big travel week for them as well, coming back from a couple games overseas with a loss to the Steelers and then a win against the Browns. And that's something to look at here with this Vikings team is their 3 wins coming in at 3-2. Their 3 wins are against mediocre opponents. You have the Browns, you have the Bengals, then you have the Bears. So 3 teams that aren't top tier teams. So we'll see what this Vikings team has. We'll see if Carson Wentz gets to start or JJ McCarthy. Right now, it's looking like it's going to be Wentz. He took a lot of the press conferences this week on Wednesday, on Wednesday and Thursday, and McCarthy said his ankle isn't 100% yet, so you figure still kind of at this week 6 point of the season or week 7 point of the season. Um, you'll see you'll see them kind of be more cautious and get back week 8. Same thing, they're missing their starting running back and Aaron Jones and Jordan Mason's come in and filled well in the absence of Jones, but still they're still missing another guy on offense there. But with that being said, obviously they have a very good wide receiver room in Justin Jefferson and Jordan Addison. So we'll see what they're able to do, especially, the Eagles' big injury news so far has been Quinyon Mitchell. He left the game against the Giants early. We don't know if he's going to play in this game. He was a full participant at practice, so he's trajecting in the right direction. But we'll see overall what was said and done on Sunday. The Eagles need him out there. Like, obviously, if he can't go and you have to cover Justin Jefferson with Adoree Jackson or Keely Ringo, you're already behind the 8 ball there, and Justin Jefferson's going to have a big game if that's the case. So we'll see what happens. I'm uh I'm worried about this game on Sunday, honestly. I think the way the Eagles have been playing lately, the Vikings come off a bye. They're fully rested. I think this is gonna be a very tough battle. And I think the Eagles offense that's obviously been struggling is not facing any favors. They're facing a very tough defense, the toughest passing defense in football statistically so far this season. If you want to beat the Vikings, I think that the Russian defense is where you have to attack, and hopefully the Eagles' offensive line is able to get healthy this week in that 10-day layoff, and hopefully the offensive line is able to get healthy, and you can use Saquon Barkley here to manage the run game early on, start fast that way, and use the run game to open up the pass game late. But this game has to be won with the lines because you have to get to their quarterback as well, and the defense line has to step up. That being said, you obviously the pass rushers have been banged up throughout the season, and now you lose another one in Darius Smith, who randomly retires after a good career. But I mean, with that being said, it came out of nowhere. I don't think anyone in Philly expected it, even the coaches. So another hole to fill is this pass rush, and we'll see what the Eagles are able to do. But you definitely want to see Vic Fangio, blitz Carson Wentz. We've seen Wentz's issues in the past there, trying to rush the ball out and turn the ball over. So something you want to see the Eagles defense do is create those turnovers. And I think that goes a long way. And hopefully again this win. But again, this is not as easy as people might think it is. I think a lot of people overlook this Vikings team and a team that is very good defensively with a lot of good weapons on offense in the receiving game and the running game creates a good situation for the quarterback and gives them the opportunity to steal one, especially in Minnesota. I think again, we'll see what happens. Again, obviously press conferences aren't press conferences, but like you like what you're hearing throughout the week from the team. It looks like they've kind of built up some momentum throughout this off week or this longer week and trying to fix things. And it seems like they've spun it in the right direction and starting to fix some of these things. I think you're going to get a big game from AJ Brown. I think they're going to try to feed him the ball early on, show that it's fixed. We saw it last year, after a big week like this, a lot of talk about him being happy. Can the Eagles trade him? And you saw him go with that breakout game against the Steelers. I think this is to be a similar situation. I think you're going to see that. Obviously, on top of Carson Wentz, you have Isaiah Rodgers, former Eagle last season. He's going to be playing in this game, so he's going to be looking for some revenge there in the cornerback spot. But the Eagles now re-signing him there, so I think this again, it's going to be a good test. It's going to be a good test for the Eagles offense after a long week, and we'll see what they're able to do. I think again, I think Barkley has a big game because it's where you have to take advantage of that Vikings rush defense because they are very good in the passing game. I think Barkley gets over 100 yards in this game, gets a touchdown. I think the Eagles defense does just enough to get the stop here and get the win and finally bounce back. And I'm going to say the Eagles get the win here on Sunday afternoon, 23-20. Thank you for listening to another episode of Philly Sports Now, Eagles versus the Minnesota Vikings preview. Let's go, Birds.